Okay friends, so this is the second group of operators which are called as bitwise operators. So let us take a look at what are all the operators that are in bitwise. Okay, so remember one thing, that the bitwise operators can be applied only on byte, short, int, long and char. They cannot be applied on floating points. Okay, so and what are these operators and how do we call it? So this is called as unary NOT operator. So this is an unary operator. So that means that it can be applied only on one operand. Okay, so that's what is this operator, and it is also called as complement operator or negation operator. Okay, so and the second one is bitwise AND operator. So this is bitwise OR operator. This is bitwise exclusive OR, and this is shift right. Then this is three angular brackets. Okay, so this is called as, three greater than symbols consecutively. So this is there only in Java. Okay, so this is not there. So this operator is not there in C or C++. This is only there in Java, and this is called as a shift right zero fill operator. So this is like two lesser than symbols is called as shift left operator. Okay, so from here till here, all these are the compound assignment statements applied on the above mentioned bitwise operators. And from here, okay, so from the second one till here, all these are considered to be binary operators. Okay, so they are binary operators, meaning that there will be two operands. Okay, so they will be applied on two operands. So we'll just look into what will happen, and one important thing is like bitwise operators will be applied on each and every individual bit. Okay, so they are applied on bits. That's the reason why we call them as bitwise operators. Say for example, I have 4. Okay, 4 is represented like this. Okay, so 4 is represented, this 2 power 0 in binary. 4 is represented like this. Okay, so 2 power 3, which means that this is 1, 2, 4 and 8. So now 4 is represented as 100. So this is the binary format of 4. Okay, so now bitwise operators will act upon these individual bits. That's why we call them as bitwise operators. Okay, so any decimal value that you take will be converted into binary, and then these operators will act on the binary data, and then again the binary data, the result will be converted into decimal and then will be given to you as output. I hope you understood this sequence of steps that will take place whenever you use bitwise operators. Okay. Okay, so just take a look at this particular table. This table will is giving the results of certain operations like, okay, so this is the OR operation, this is AND operation, this is exclusive OR operation, and this is NOT operation. And this each and every cell is showing the result of OR operation between A and B. Okay, so what will happen if OR is applied on A and B when the values are 0 and 0. If the values are 0 and 0, then the result will be 0. If the values are 0 and 1, then it will be 1. And if the values are 1 and 0, then it will be 1. And 1 and 1, it will be a 1. So according to this table, what we understood is, if any of the operands is having 1, then the result will be 1. Okay, so that is regarding OR operation. And we are just having 4 combinations of A and B because it is binary, and any operand can hold only 2 values, either 0 or 1. So we are having 2 operands, so there will be only 4 combinations like this: 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Okay, now coming to AND operation. So AND operation, if both the things are 0 and 0, it is 0. 0 and 1, it is 0, and 1, 0, it is 0, and 1, 1, it is 1. So what did we understand with the AND operation is that if any of the operands is having 0, then the output will be 0. Okay, so it need that both the operands should be 1 to get a 1 as a result as an output. Okay, so this is regarding AND operation. And coming to exclusive OR. Exclusive OR, if there is 0, 0, okay, so the output is 0. And if they are holding 0 and 1, okay, so then the output is 1, and 1 and 0, it is 1, and 1 and 1, it is 0. It means that it needs to have combination of 0 and 1 to get an output of 1. Okay, if both are 1, then the output is 0, and if both are 0, then the output is 0. This is for exclusive OR. And coming to negation, so I said this is an unary operator, so we are just taking the negation of A itself. So we are just considering only A. So the bits will be inverted. Okay, so the bits will be complemented, or the bits will be negated. All these are synonymously used. So 1 will become 0, will become 1, and 0 will become 1. 1 will become 0, and 1 will become 0. That's what we have written here. 1 1 0 0. Okay, so for B, what will happen? This 0 will become 1. 1 will become 0 if I am just saying negation of B. Okay, so 0 will become 1 and 1 will become 0. So like that you can apply on one operand. So it is very important that you people remember this table, because this is also considered to be like the truth table of your logical things. Okay, so we will see certain examples of these bitwise operators. This is a program wherein I have shown how to perform bitwise unary NOT operation. Okay, so I have taken a variable I is equal to 3, and since it is an integer type, so integer occupies 32 bits of memory, and 3 is represented as 0011. So this is how 3 is represented in binary format. Okay, and next what I did is I said int x is equal to negation of I. So what will happen? What is this NOT operation? NOT operation inverts all the bits. Like zeros will become 1 and 1 will become 0. So when we invert all the bits here, so we get an answer something like this. Okay, so this is stored in x. So now x is holding this value and this is the value of I. Okay, so x is holding negation of I. So this is x. Now I am trying to print x. Okay, so what your JVM will do is, I already told you that it will take you can give decimal value as the input, but the operation will be performed on the bits, and then what happens is the output also will be given in decimal format. Your JVM will give the output in decimal format. So if you convert this into decimal, okay, so the answer will be 4. So if I try to print x, the output will be -4. Okay, so this is the output. So the output will be -4. You can clearly make it out that this is the high order bit, or the most significant bit, or the first bit, which is 1. So that's the reason why you get minus, and this is the representation of -4. So this is the answer for this NOT operation. So but we'll just look into how the conversions takes place. I'll just make little modifications to these two variables over here. I'm making this as byte, and I'm making this also as byte. Now I want all of you who are listening to this class to pause and take a think about what will be the output of this particular program. Okay, so let me explain you what will be the output of this program. The output of this program will be a compilation error. So I'll get a compile error, okay, saying that integer cannot be converted into byte. The reason, because that even if you give byte I is equal to 3, it will be converted into integer and it will be stored in the integer format. Remember what I said regarding the conversion rules, that byte or short will be converted to integers and then it will be used in the operations. So here I will be this one, like, which is a converted integer type. So what will happen is, and the result here which is calculated is in the format of integer type, and now you are trying to fit in integer into byte type. So there is a mismatch. So your compiler will say there is a mismatch and you cannot put integer into byte. Okay, so this cannot happen implicitly, so it will ask you to actually change the program. So if I just make it, because it's an int, so if you just make a modification like I am putting an integer over here, then this program will execute and it will give you -4 as an output. So remember friends that byte, short, char, all these things will be converted to integers in the calculations. So be very careful while you are working with them. Okay, we'll see the rest of the operations. Okay, so this is how you use AND operation, bitwise AND operation. Okay, so we'll see how this is converted and what will be the output. So I said A is equal to 3 na. Okay, so decimal value 3 and 6 is B is 6. Okay, so how it is represented? All these are zeros, 32 bits, and then I'm just showing you the last 4 bits for the convenience sake. Okay, so I'm saying 0 0 1 1. This is how 3 is represented, and 6 is represented as 0 1 1 0. Now according to the AND table that I have given you, if the bit is first, it starts calculating these two, seeing these two. Okay, so it performs 1 and 0. What is 1 and 0 in the table? Okay, so it is 0, so this will be 0. 1 and 1 will be 1. Okay, so 0 and 1 will be 0, and this is 0, and all this will be zeros. Okay, so on. Okay, so the answer is, now this will be converted into decimal. So what is this answer? All zeros. This is 1 and 0. So the answer is 2. So when I try to print C, then the answer will be 2. So this is regarding bitwise AND operation. Okay, so this is how we perform OR operation. Since this is binary operator, it needs 2 operands. Okay, so you put this, and we are trying to print what is the result. So we'll see how this result is calculated. So this is how 3 is represented, and this is how 6 is represented in binary format. All these are 32 bits, and OR between 1 and 0 is 1. Okay, so 1 and 1 is also 1, and 0 and 1 is also 1, and 0 0 it's a 0, and 0 0 0 0 0, all these 32 rest of the bits will be 0. Now when I try to print C over here, what will happen? This value will be converted to decimal. So what is this value? This value is 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is 7. So when I try to print this C, the output will be C's value, the output will be 7. So I'll get 7 as output. This is exclusive OR operation. So we'll see how we get the result as C. Okay, so this is how 3 is represented, this is how 6 is represented. Now we'll look into the table and find out what will be the value if A is 1 and B is 0. So if A is 1 and B is 0, it will be 1. 1 and 1 or 0 and 0, it is 0. So it is 1 and 1. Since it is 1 and 1, it is 0. 0 and 1, it is 1. And 0 and 0, it is 0. 0, 0. So on. All these bits will be zeros because everything is 0 over here. Okay, so this is calculated, and what will happen when I try to print the C value over here? This will be converted into decimal. So this is what? 4 plus 1, which is equal to 5. So the answer here for exclusive OR is that if I try to print the value of C, the answer will be 5. Okay, now we'll see the right shift operation. Right shift operator shifts all the bits in a value to the right a specified number of times. Okay, so we'll see that. Okay, so the symbol of right shift is this. Okay, two greater than symbols. This is called as right shift. And so the general form of right shift is this. Okay, so the general form of right shift is this. We are saying value right shift by number. So as I said, like if this is your value, it will shift, like say value is 8 and I am saying right shift 1. It means that it will shift the bits of this particular binary representation by 1 onto the right side. So this means that right shift operation means that. Okay, let us take an example program and you will understand it very clearly. So I said int a is equal to 3 and I said a is equal to a right shift 1 and I am trying to print the value of a. We will see what will be the output of a now. Okay, so a is represented in binary format like this. Okay, so this is 3. Okay, so we are representing 3 like this. And I said, and the operation I said is a is equal to right shift a 1 time. So what will happen is here, these are all the 32 bits. Now everybody try to understand this. Okay, all these are your 32 bits. Now what happens is, this is the first bit, okay, so or the most significant bit or the high order bit. These are called as the high order bit, okay, and this is considered to be the low order bits. Okay, now whenever we are trying to shift the bits one onto the right, what happens is this one will be shifted here and this 1 will come in this position, this 0 will come into this position, this 0 will come into this position. One shifting of one cell onto the right will happen. So what will happen is this bit will get lost. When it is shifted, there is no place because this is the last bit. So when it is shifted, this is lost. Okay, when the bit is shifted off the size of the lower order, then it is lost. So this happens on the right side. Now what happens on the left side? Okay, so at the high order. Now at the high order, what happens is the filling of the bits. Okay, so you have to know whether it is filled with 0 or 1, right? So what will be filled? Okay, so it will decide whether to fill with 0 or 1 based on the high order bit. If at the high order bit there is 0, then the filling will take place with 0. If the high order bit is 1, then the filling will take place with 1. Okay, so this is very important for you to understand. Okay, so that is what will happen in right shift. And every time you bit, this is very important, every time you shift a bit onto the right, what will happen is it will divide the number by 2. Okay, so it will divide the number by 2, discarding all the reminders. Okay, so the division will take place. And where should I use this, or when should I use it? Whenever you want to have high performance division. Okay, so if you want high performance division, then you will be using the right shift operator. Okay, so right shift operator is generally used to perform high performance division operation. Okay, so now we'll see how to shift these bits. So I am asking it to shift it by 1. So when you shift this by 1, what will happen? So this has gone out. So this bit has come here, this bit has come here, this bit will come here, and rest all are zeros. All will be zeros, and since the higher order bit is 0, so all these bits will be zeros. So there will be 31 zeros and then 1. This 1 is lost. Okay, so now this will be converted into decimal while we are printing it. Okay, so what will be the answer? So what will be the output of A? The output of A will be 1. Okay, so the answer will be 1. Okay, hope you understood, guys. Okay, now we'll see how the shifting will take place in negative numbers, because I already told you it is very clear for you to understand. So I am saying this is 8. Okay, so this is minus 8. So I am taking minus 8 example. So this is minus 8. Minus 8 is represented in binary like this, and I am trying to shift it by 1. Okay, so when I am shifting it by 1, what happened? This bit is lost because it has gone out of the lower order bit. So this is lost. Okay, because it shifted off. And then this bit has come over here. So this is coming here, and this is coming here, and this is coming here. And now everything is moved. So what should join here as the 32nd bit? Now, because since the high order bit is 1, so what will happen? The filling will take place with 1. So filling will take place with 1. So everything will be filled with the 1. So now when you convert this into decimal format, the result will be minus 4. So if you are shifting minus 8 by 1, then the result will be minus 4. Okay, so this is all about right shift operation. Okay, so this is left shift operator. So this is called as left shift operator. Okay, so this operator is generally used for high performance multiplication. Whenever you shift one bit onto the left side, what happens is the number will be doubled. Okay, so that is the use of left shift operator. And what happens when you apply the left shift operator? So when you apply the left shift operator, okay, so by the number of times that you will be mentioning over here. So it is like value left shift by the number. So whatever number you will be specifying it, that many times the bits will be shifted onto the left side. Okay, so this will be the value. You are saying shift the binary representation of this value by these many times onto the left side. That's what we are telling. Okay, so we'll just see what will happen when I apply left shift onto this value, which is 3. Okay, so 3 is represented like this in the binary format. Now I am trying to shift it 1 onto the left. Now what happens is here on the right side. Okay, so on the right side it will add zeros. Okay, so it will add zeros. Okay, and the high order bits will be lost. Whatever are there here on the right high order bits, they will be lost. Okay, so what will happen? So this one will come here and 1 0 will be added. Okay, and this one also will come over here, and then this 0 will come here, and so on. What will happen? What will happen now? Okay, so this 0 will come over here, and this 0 will be lost. Okay, so this is how the shift onto the left takes place. And if we just calculate the result of this operation, what is the result of this operation? The result of this operation is 6. What is the answer that we get? As I told you that the value will be multiplied by 2. Okay, so 3 is multiplied with 2 and we get 6. So the result of this will be 6. So whenever you want to perform high performance multiplication by 2, then you will be using the left shift operator. Now coming to the negative numbers. Okay, so the shifting also will take place in the same manner. So there is no difference in shifting positive numbers and shifting negative numbers. One more very important thing is regarding the type. Okay, so whatever type you are taking, byte, short or char, okay, anything will be converted into integers. Okay, so it will not be done on 1 byte. Okay, so it will be done on 4 bytes of data. Now the rest of the 3 bytes will be given values based on the sign bit of this particular 1 byte of data. 1 byte of data. Okay, so if it is positive number, then these 3 bytes. Okay, so the rest of the 3 bytes. Generally, I am trying to explain you what will happen with the byte value. Byte value is 1 byte. Okay, so this 1 byte will be extended to integer. That means like 3 more bytes are added. Okay, so what happens, what values will be filled in this 3 bytes is that based on the value of this 1 byte. Okay, so if the value of this 1 byte is positive, then what happens is these 3 bytes will be filled with the zeros. If this 1 byte is a negative number, then these 3 bits will be filled with the 1 over here. Okay, so that's the only thing, because type promotion will generally happen in any of the operations that we make. Okay, so this is regarding left shift operator. Okay friends, so we'll see the shift right zero fill assignment. Okay, so which is represented as 3 greater than symbols. This is also called as unsigned shift operator or unsigned shift right operator. So we'll just take a look at it. As it is self-explanatory, it is saying that shift right but fill it with the zeros. Okay, so it is self-explanatory. We'll just see what happened we'll just try to recollect what we saw in the right shift operator. Okay, so in this particular right shift operator, what we did is, based on the high order bit, we have filled the shifts with that particular high order bit. If it is a negative value, we filled it with a 1. If it is a positive value, then we filled it with 0. Based on the high order bit, we filled the values. Okay, so but sometimes what happens is, like in scenarios like the value can represent a negative value, but it might not be a negative value. For example, maybe it is a pixel value. Okay, so it is a pixel value which is having an initial value which looks like a negative value, but it is not a negative value. And you don't want the negative sign at all. Okay, so you want to shift it, you want to perform a shift operation on it, but you don't want to retain the sign bit because it is not a number, first of all. Okay, in that cases, you will be using this unsigned shift operation. I hope everybody understood. Okay, so the value is, say, for example, here you see, like I said, int a is equal to -1. This -1 might not be representing a number. It might be representing a pixel value in some graphics environment. Okay, so that you can take this as an example. Like in that cases, you want to shift it onto the right, but you don't want the sign to be retained. In that cases, you will be using this unsigned shift operation. So what will happen in this unsigned shift is that irrespective of the sign symbol, it will be filling the positions with the zeros. And as usual, the lower order bits will be lost, but the bits on the left side will be filled with 0 irrespective of the sign operation. So I have taken the example of -1. How -1 is represented? With 32 bits, because it's an integer and everything is a 1. Okay, so all are ones over here. Okay, so this is how -1 is represented. Now I said shift this A to 24 positions. Okay, so what happens is, now generally in the right shift the sign bit will be retained and -1 will still remain -1 if I am doing a right shift. But here it is not the case. Here what will happen is, it will start filling it with the zeros, because 24 zeros will be added. Okay, so 24 minus 32, what will happen is the last 8 bits will be there. Okay, because it has shifted like this, and this 24 bits have gone, they are lost, and 24 bits have been added to this, which are zeros, because we are filling it with a 0. Now if you try to convert this into integer decimal type, okay, so it will be 255. Okay, so this is how you don't want a negative number. So this is -1, but -1 is now becoming a positive one, because you don't want the negative sign to be retained. This unsigned shift is generally, it's least commonly used. The reason is because generally the pixel values or whatever will be of some byte types only. But the problem with this Java is that the conversion takes place. Byte values get converted to integers. And when it gets converted to integers, what happens is the sign bit will be also added into the rest of the 3 bytes of integers. So that is a problem here. So that's the reason this unsigned shift operator is not so popular, but they have given it in Java to address certain scenarios and applications. This video is worth watching. Stay home, stay safe, happy learning. Bye.